Call to order the East Newton R6 School Board meeting. Recognitions. Who are we recognizing?
We were recognizing Tri-Way Student Council for the things they did. We'll let them come up and explain what they did, and we'll give them the award. So, come on up here, guys.
It's okay. It's okay.
We are pleased to be here and thank you for having us here. As an 8th grader, I have learned that student council believes in service before self. We believe that giving is far better than receiving, and we dedicate ourselves to do this. We believe that when we are called to serve, we serve. This could be for Grandparents' Day, Veterans Day, Christmas, or whatever else needs help or attention.
We choose to make sure that every student in PK through 8th grade is given a Christmas present every year. They may not be huge gifts, but they are given the love received like their uncle. Watching the little kids play with their toys or the older kids pick out with the food fun gives you a happy feeling. We also make sure that the teachers or principals receive a plaque or some item that talks about their dedication to our school and their years of service.
I am new to Student Council because I am a 7th grader this year. I have found out that STUCO is a lot of hard work and requires us to be patient, respectful, and determined. Working Grandparents' Day was so fun, but it was also an eye-opener. I had no idea how much work went into this day working so well, and I am proud to be part of it.
When I was asked to work Grandparents' Day, I thought it would just be fun, and it was, but it was also exhausting. We served cookies, fruit, punch, and water. We also helped the grandparents make their way to the gym or the kindergarten rooms. I also helped take pictures. I found out that taking pictures on an iPad is a little harder than I originally thought, because if they move a tiny bit, it takes a video rather than a picture. We are still working on turning the videos into pictures and uploading them to Dropbox. So we are not only learning about dealing with people respectfully, but technology. Grandparents' Day was very fun and rewarding.
On behalf of all Student Council, we want to say how much we appreciate this award and how much we are going to truly strive to live up to that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mr. Friend's going to stand next to you, present your award, and please smile real big.
Smile for the picture.
Sitting in there, so look up here. Look at Dr. Mitchell.
1, 2, 3. There you go.
All right. Thank you.
Miss Moore. Yes.
Thank you.
They're my kiddos. No, thank you. Thank you
Okay.
so much for this. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Next award is for Lazy Boy.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Yeah, Lazy Boy.
And Lazy Boy, we want to thank them for being a great partner and working with East Newton United and the East Newton Foundation and the great things they've done for those groups to help us support our kids. So, thanks, sir. We appreciate it. Come on up.
And Dan.
Go ahead and introduce yourselves, guys. If you wouldn't mind.
Danny Snow, working in the HR department there at Lazy Boy.
Joey Adams, continuous improvement right now.
Well, we want to thank you for everything you do. I know that Lazy Boy does a lot for East Newton and does a lot to help support our kids and our teachers. So the money you gave, I'm not sure everything you guys realize, it bought a whole bunch of computers and iPads, and it put some technology in the hands of some kids at Tri-Way, the high school, and at Granby, all three. So it was a great thing. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
It's not just, we're the pretty faces of Lazy Boy. They send us out. But, it's all the 750 other employees at Lazy Boy is the reason we was able to do this. So we're very proud to be representing those 750 employees.
Well, thank you so much.
We thank you very much. Very much.
And he's on pretty fast.
You
guys are in a bad way there.
Hold on, I need to update the camera after.
I'll tell Stacy that you have a pretty face someone said.
All right, thanks, I appreciate that.
1, 2, 3. Thank you, gentlemen. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it very much.
More money, so keep applying.
We're out there in the process of doing
Don't worry, we will.
so
Get a grant writer, get all that.
we're coming. We're coming hard. We appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
I'm impressing people.
Good. Thank you.
So thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll see you in a few minutes.
Okay, I need a motion to approve or amend the agenda. Would you need to amend it for any reason? Then I need a motion to approve the agenda.
I move to approve the agenda.
Second. All in favor? 6-0. Forgot to excuse Terry. He's dealing with a lost mother, so.
Program evaluations.
No.
Public comment.
Oh, my fault. I'm getting ahead of us. Can't even read it.
No public
No
comments.
public comments, okay.
No.
Okay, now.
Now we're gonna approve the consent agenda.
Oh. I'm getting way too crazy. I'm getting anxious. Let's go.
Slow down, slow down.
I need a motion to approve the consent agenda, which includes the minutes, bills, substitute teacher list, and the tri-way weeding log that we got by email.
Yep.
All in favor? 6-0. Now we're gonna do
Okay.
program evaluations.
You guys are just getting kind of crazy. We'll start with PDC, Professional Development Committee.
Okay. My name's JDB. I'm the chair for PDC this year, as I was last year too, so now I got a little bit more experience than I did last year with it. You should have gotten a packet with information. We met last week, 2 weeks ago, sorry. My days flow together. We met 2 weeks ago, reevaluated the program, kind of went through what everything is used for, how to, we went and updated our forms if they needed it, for the actual POs and everything. It's a good program, we're using a lot of it. We used all of our money last year in it. In fact, we had to move a little bit of it around because our sub-pay got a little high there. But I think the teachers really enjoy being able to go out and learn about the technology and the different uses that they can adapt to in their classrooms with it. I don't know what else to do. I guess I can open it up to any questions that you guys might have.
You good?
We kind of went over a little bit before
That's fine.
in our
Work session.
our work session a little bit, so.
That's fine.
I didn't steal any of your thunder, I just said,
Yeah.
okay.
No, yeah, go for it. So, you guys ever have any questions or anything, shoot me an email, give me a call, either one. So, all right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Map and APR results. What do we need to approve the evaluation?
No, we'll do them all at
All
once.
at once, okay.
Mr. John?
All right, well, looks like we'll look over the map results initially. Oh, I'm not used to using these.
Just push the one on the right.
All right.
Click to
that'll
this.
be easy. This is our current year, as we see it's 3rd through 8th grade. They had some debacle with the English 2 assessment, so that's why it's not on here. Also, we have a new goal that the state board had set. So they set another 10-year goal. We'll start with 2017 up through 2026. It's slowly going to increase where that black line at the top is the Missouri goal. That's where everyone should be. And then the blue line, the blue bar is us, and then the yellow is the overall state. You guys have any questions about this one? This is the ELA for 3rd through 8th.
And ESSA stands for Every Student Success Act. So that's what, if you see ESSA goals, it's
Yeah.
the Federal Every Student Succeeds Act.
Well, it doesn't look good.
Yeah, we have a lot of work to do, focused on to improve. I didn't think about the acronym. Sorry.
That's all right.
That's replaced. It's still from the waiver from the No Child Left Behind from
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Yep.
So that's what took the place of the top 10 by 20 is what they had last year until they developed the Missouri standards.
4th grade and 7th grade were closer.
Yeah.
They were close.
Yeah. And here's the math one. Pretty low on this one as well. Again, it's got the adjusted goal at just over 51% and then the state proficiency. And next year it's going to go. Each of the goals are going to go up. The only one they haven't done is like for science and social studies. And here's our free and reduced. I don't have any state data to compare our free and reduced population with the state population because they haven't released that data out. That as of when I checked this, even this earlier this week, so, but this is where we compare, and each of the, like, the free and reduced has their own proficiency level as well. It's not held to the same as what everyone is.
So, but we're not on there? Or-
No,
or-
that's
That's
us.
us.
That's
That's
us.
That is-
we don't have the yellow.
Oh, we don't have state,
Yeah,
okay,
the
okay,
state's not
comparison.
there.
Okay,
That's just our free and reduced.
And then there's the math.
Well, one of the things that we're gonna strive towards is, I know the state has a different measuring stick for the free and reduced lunch and those folks, but that's not gonna be our goal. Our goal is gonna be above state average in everything. In fact, my goal would be 10 to 15% above state average in everything. So we've started the plan, and we'll start working towards that this year.
And here's science that we had. The black is still the old level, but they haven't released the new one as of yet. And then our blue is the district and the yellow is the state, so a little closer to the state, of course. I'm guessing that the proficiency level they'll set was gonna be just over 50% would be my guess, just because that's kind of where the state's at. And then for the biology, we didn't have any state data to compare to, because they haven't released it as well. And then.
What are the grades on the bottom? I can't see that.
Oh, I'm sorry,
from here.
that's a glare on that line.
It says fifth, eighth, and bio 1.
Okay,
So that's science.
thank you, that's
Very-
much
very
better,
good.
much better.
Yeah, fifth, eighth, and biology. It was the same for this, yeah, for this one as well, for the science.
The science must have been harder this year because the schools went down.
Yeah, and I haven't looked at from last year's to this year's, compare the 2 years to see how it affected it, so. And then social studies, we just have the government at the high school. Again, we have us and then their old goal of the proficiency for the state. And then the government free and reduced. And that's it.
Could you back up
Yeah.
one more right there?
There?
Okay, so 55. Okay, next one. Okay, thanks.
No problem. That's it for the.
And when you give us those percentages, that's the percentage that scored advanced or proficient?
Yes, the top, the proficiency when you, advanced or proficient, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And I also have the testing
Testing
evaluation.
Yep.
Program evaluation. I did, on the front, I changed it to where it reflected the new target for 2026 instead of the old waiver for the Missouri top 10 by 20 under the criteria. And then I think that's all that we had changed as far as on that evaluation form. You guys have any questions?
We did, we kind of went over some.
Yeah, we went over a lot of this in the work
Okay.
session,
So I
so.
just didn't know if there was any other unanswered questions or anything they had.
I think
No?
this was the one, I had a question, but,
Okay.
and I know we have people that serve in different capacities, but do we actually have anybody who's certified as VI? What was that in? Is it in this one, or was it in
No,
the
I don't have the
report?
vision.
It's Donna Clark, and
But is she certified VI? That's the difference in whether or not she's
she's
serving
the
students.
supervisor.
Yeah, but she's probably not certified as VI.
I think she
Yeah,
is.
the people who did it, from.
And then there's two
Springfield.
helpers. There's two that are certified and then two helpers is the way I understood it.
Yeah,
And I may just not have answered your email
Well, I'm
the
talking
right
about
way.
VI, not necessarily they've gone to a training. It's a certification.
You're talking
I
about like Sherry
believe that's
Division
what they're
improvement,
saying.
Division
Yeah,
improvement.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm not sure about that, that's not a part of our.
When I asked that question, they said her and
yeah.
Aaron
Marion,
and then two helpers were Paris.
yeah, cause they're trained.
And they're just helpers. They're not certified. I don't know if I said the right word.
Now, is that like Sherry Sorrell's old job or no?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, uh-huh.
Yep.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. John.
Now I need a motion to accept the evaluations.
I'll second
Any other discussion on the evaluation? All in favor? 6-0. Reports. Superintendent report.
First one is I have the evaluation documents that I need you to, that's not necessarily an action, that's something we can do later. If you're good with what we've done, then we're good, what I presented, so. All right, and then the second one is an enrollment and attendance. Enrollment, I put, like, our enrollment as of the end of August was 1361. Our current enrollment is 1338 as of this morning.
Really?
Mhm.
Wow.
38?
Yep, 1338.
That's crazy.
Anything attributed?
I can't tell you.
Where was it at, which? what-
It's gonna, it was
just every
61 and
building?
now it's 38.
Where did we end the year last year?
1322.
So we were up from that?
We're
but
still
not-
up from last year.
Okay.
Oh.
But keep in mind, in August, we hadn't passed that 10-day period where the kids had been gone, so we had them in the computer. So if you did that in
Oh,
August
okay,
and
yeah.
then today,
Yeah, that's.
Right.
we're
Right.
catching up.
they're really
They just never showed up and you can't take them out.
Atten-
makes more sense.
yeah, attendance is very good.
Yes.
Currently, we're sitting at 90, a
Wow.
little over 95% currently right now as of this morning. So it's slowly declining into the lower 90s, but we got a good start. So and then we'll level out somewhere around 94 is where
I just had some
historically.
questions from people about what it looked like 4-day week compared to 5-day week, and I think that's really impressive.
It's pretty early.
I know.
One of the things we'll look at is attendance compared to last year on Mondays and this year on Tuesdays.
Right.
See if there's any difference.
Correlation or difference.
The other schools have showed a little bit, not a marked increase, but an increase on the Tuesdays, and they've had less absences because of the 4-day work, the 4-day school week. Hopefully, we have the same results. We have no reason to believe we won't. So,
Yeah.
but we'll monitor that and keep that going. I did put a comparison last year. Actually, last year we started at 1340. We started at 1361, and we had the same drop like we did this year. So we are actually about 20 kids ahead of where we were last year. So even with, as Tammy explained, that drop, same thing happened last
Oh,
year.
yeah.
So I mean, we are still currently ahead of where we were last year.
Good deal.
We have the financial report. Cash flow summary. You'll see we're solid right now. We're still in very good shape. We're solvent and working well. The first 2 months of the year, we always come out ahead. And we always come out ahead because our expenditures aren't as high. And then in September next month, you'll see a big hit because that's the first full month with payroll. And then as we go on, remember in December and January, we'll get our local county taxes will come in, which will be a big boost for us. So currently, you'll see a negative in the Fund 4 capital area. That's okay. That's okay. We've just what we do throughout the year is we get our Prop C funds and we put a percentage in there and build it back up. And we just started off with some big projects and ended up. It looks like we're in the hole. We're not. We just haven't built it up to where we normally are. So that explains that. If that does explain that, it explains it to me. But I was hoping. Okay.
How's everything looking on that end as far as projects? We're looking
That we
good.
got completed?
Yeah.
Yeah, turned out good.
Solar up and running good.
That
It's
was
not
my next
running yet,
question.
they're still working on it, they hope to be done next week.
But we're installed on solar panels.
All the solar panels are on the roof except for I think there's like 30 of them that need to go on that field house.
Okay.
So yeah, they're all up. They ran, this week what they're doing is they're running wires from the solar panels down to the wall on the outside.
Yeah.
And then next week their plan is to go from the wall to the panels inside. So then by then we gotta have an inspection by Empire, and the Briar G and the contractor to make sure that everything's right, and then they'll put the net meters in.
What was our initial start time for those?
What was the initial start time? They start after summer school, and what they end up starting was more like the first week of July.
Okay.
I know that wasn't on the agenda, but
It's all right.
you just brought that up.
Yeah, I was just
I
curious.
didn't hear you.
We certify, and I signed the certification through Empire District.
Yeah.
Last week, was it?
Yeah,
It
the
was.
affidavit is.
Yeah, affidavit saying that, yes, we know we're adding solar. That's basically what it
It has
says.
to do with the financial report, right?
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Revenue and expenditures. Currently, this month, our revenue was well above our expenditures again. So we went up again, but next Next month, that will drop drastically, because our revenue will not exceed our expenditures next month, but that's every year. So that's nothing new. We get that nice little bit of cushion to go on the first, and then the months of September and October hit us pretty hard, and then November and December we bump back up, and usually after Christmas we break even, and then we even it on out for the rest of the year. Usually. And so that's what I expect to keep happening.
Hope so.
Yeah, I hope so. Hope so. We have, I asked Karen to run a little report to see what the reduction in it when we didn't fill those positions for this year. And currently our payroll is down a little over 20, our expenditures and payroll is down a little over 22,000 from last year at this point.
That's gonna be yearly.
Yes. Yes. That'll be monthly, actually. So
That's
month to date, we're down about 22,000 than what we paid last year. So it has made an impact.
Good. All right. Do we need to accept his reports?
No.
Didn't think so. And we don't have any old business, so let's move on to new business. The MSBA membership and maintenance agreement.
It's just our full policy maintenance.
We just have
Just
to
approving the one.
have
Mhm,
to
just
have a
approve it.
motion to approve
Yep.
it.
Every year.
I'll make that motion, we approve it.
Any discussion? I know we talked before about going somewhere else besides MSBA, but there really isn't a viable option for that, is there?
The only other option is, there is another option that we were exploring, but it's not as established as MSBA. And that's one of the things that Rusty and I talked about the other day. Rusty brought in a report of how much it would cost and the things. And would it cost less? Yes. However, is it as robust and can we count on it as much?
Yeah.
That's the question. Right now, I wouldn't be comfortable recommending us move, so.
Then, all in favor? 6-0. And our final thing on the agenda that I have is a resignation.
Mr. Charlton and the East Newton School Board, I have been offered and have accepted a position at Joplin Management Systems. I am writing this letter as a letter of resignation for my position as a para-educator at the high school. My last day of employment at East Newton will be September 22nd, as I will begin my new job the 25th of September. Thank you for the privilege of working at East Newton. It has been a blessing to my family and I. I am regretful to leave such a wonderful workplace, but feel this opportunity may not come again. I have enjoyed my time as an employee at East Newton, and the friends I have made here will not be forgotten. Sincerely, Alina Elwell.
She was our paraprofessional at the high school in the self-contained room.
And do we need to replace her?
Yeah.
I
She
need a
will be
motion.
really, really missed.
I need a motion to accept her resignation.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
Don't like it, but
No.
we would do it.
Regretfully, all in
Regretfully.
favor?
Yeah. Regretfully.
6-0.
She was very good.
Yep.
Just was.
And to answer, yes, that's a much needed position.
Yeah.
Mr. Gripka in there by himself with
Yeah.
with that group of
And it
students.
takes a special person to be there.
Right,
I
so
mean, it just does.
Ms. Copeland, Shelley's been looking and actually,
Everybody?
she's been recruiting someone. So I think we've got somebody pretty solid that she believes in, that she's still in the negotiation phase, trying to figure out who would be good.
I need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Don't get so excited.
I can go to the volleyball game still.
I know,
Yeah,
so that's taking
I'm
a while.
excited, yeah.
I had a second? Okay,
Yep,
all in favor?
second.
Please say aye on that one.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
All right, cool.
We're done. That was a record time, I think.
Sign these, please.
Hopefully the pre-meeting helps with that.
My daughter's doing better too.
I'm a representative of CTA.
But they're not
I'm Victoria
winning by-
Robertson, and so
Last time
we came to